you're still obligated to pay that debt, because this is what a lot of people don't understand about the credit bureaus. They are not a federal.
And you know what? That's the
thing.
And we talked about that on here. Yeah. Some on the episode previously. They're not federal.
Right.
Why do people think that the credit? They a private company.
It's a privately owned company.
That's actually. The banks actually benefit from the credit bureaos.
Right.
Like they have a relationship with each other.
Yeah, by far.
I don't know how deep it goes, but the banks and the credit bureaus work together.
Like a judge and a lawyer.
Right.
That's how it works. That's how it works.
Yeah.
So why? Question for the people: why? And I want y'all to answer this, because I need to understand. I don't. Why do so many people think that they're federal?
I think, and Latanya, you can speak to this, but just on the psychological aspect, we look at, I know me personally, I looked at TransUnion, Equifax, and the bureaus as government, like they're here
because they're so big.
Because they're so big, like you can't exist in America in capitalism and not deal with those three entities. Mm-hmm. You can't do it. Yeah. So for me, that's about as big as government as you can get.
Mm-hmm.
It's right there with it.
It's right there with it.
Right.
So it's almost like, Latanya, why do you think? Because my mind's going somewhere else.
Like Josh said, they're so powerful.
Yeah.
If anyone has that power to control your financial livelihood, you automatically think that it's a government ran organization.
Wow. You just put something in my spirit. Like I'm now thinking like, it's about power.
It's about power.
That's what it's about.
Right. Oh yeah, for sure.
Anytime someone has that much power over your financial situation, a lot of people feel helpless and they feel like they daddy or the government.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. Right. That's. I mean,
I can see that. I see it clearly now. Clearly now. So with the student loans, like you said, people need to make sure if they have bad stuff on their student loan, you can take that off, or you can get that taken off. Mm-hmm. But B, I think you said this earlier, like if they are making those payments on time and is not reporting, they need to get it updated so it can report as positive payments.
Right, it's positive payments.
And that can, if you one of those people, if you do that today, that can increase your credit score.
That can increase your credit score just like that.
Get that updated.
Like,
we just gave you two things.
Two things off the rip.
That you can do today.
We've been on for 20 minutes.
Two things.
20 minutes. They already got two things that can increase their credit score.
And then to add to December the 1st, we'll be in Jackson, Mississippi. We did the radio show this morning.
Yeah.
He asked us to come back. Like he said, hey, y'all need to come back.
We're coming back. Right.
So we did that, and then December the 1st, we have an event going on in Jackson. That's going to be powerful. We talk about credit, business, taxes, all of that. It's going to be a great event. You don't want to miss it. I'm serious, man.
Yeah.
Like, I wrote around Jackson.
I want to give them three things.
We do. We're going to get to them.
Okay.
We're going to get to them. Man, it's just right now, we really want to give people, like if someone is watching this or listening to this right now and they're saying, you know what, I need to go deeper.
Yeah.
I want to go to that level where not only can I help my credit, but I can help my credit grow.
Exactly.
And that growth is where you want it, because we just talked about getting $150,000 in business credit.
Right.
See, that's a whole lesson in itself.
Yeah.
That's a whole nother thing.
Yeah.
And we're going to be talking about that on December 1st.
On December 1st.
So we can't mail you a haircut.
No.
You got to be here.
You got to be here.
Yeah. Or we had an option. We had the option last time when we did the first credit event where they could get the online digital link. And they got a whole digital folder.
Yeah.
That was actually pretty cool. They got a whole digital folder from that event. And on top of that, they had a replay. They get the replay. Mm-hmm. So if you come to our events, you get a replay. You can go back and watch when you want to.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And then you get a whole digital folder for everyone that comes to our event of what we talked about.
Right. So it's not even like, this is just a one-time conversation that you have. And like you have access to this conversation, to this information.
Anytime.
Like you can't beat that. I know a lot of people like for conferences like this, man, thousands, at least $500 to do this. At least. You
know what's crazy? And this, not even gonna say crazy. People that came to the last conference, they were looking like, can we do more days? Why didn't y'all charge more so we can be here more days?
So we can be here. Yeah. The quality of content you have, that's what it speaks to, because people need this information.
Right. We all do.
We all do. Definitely.
So let's get to this third, final, last tip that people can have, which is talking about how credit affects someone. Because the first two things we talked about was, number one, the optoutprescreen.com. They can raise their credit score 2 to 5 points just by taking 5 minutes to go do that. the student loans, if they go get that updated as being paid and you good, updated to payment status, that can raise your credit score. The last and final thing that is near and dear to my heart, touches my soul.
Yeah.
This next thing, Latanya trying to rush me through this. She's trying to ruch me through this.
Oh,
that's near and dear to me.
Look, when you realize that this next point really ain't your wheelhouse, we're talking about cash, baby.
Hey,
listen.
Go ahead.
No.
Listen, listen, guys. I was in the market to buy a house.
Right.
Okay. Why am I trying to make these big money moves without the big money?
Ooh.
I don't know.
But I really.
But wait. I say
we gotta tell them what we're talking about.
Okay,
I don't
yeah.
want you all discouraging people from being home buyers.
No,
we're
not.
not.
That's not what we said.
No. And I like how you said home buyers.
Home buyers.
Right, yeah.
Home buyers.
Right,
Yeah. Because
We're not discouraging.
You don't own it as soon as you. Never mind. So I was in the market to buy a house. I thought my credit was where I was good. I mean, I ain't in the 800 club, but I was comfortable. I thought because I didn't know any better, and I thought my income cash flow was sufficient enough. Now my credit, true enough, it was okay. I probably could have did it there.
Right.
But then this cash flow thing,
Right.
that's what really kind of threw a monkey wrench in my plans. Because true enough, I could buy the home.
Could you afford
But
it?
could I afford it though? And that's where I was.
But you know what? I think you all only have one view of the price ticket on a home. What if you find a really, really nice home that has a tax lien on it?
Oh.
And you can get it it's $50,000.
Yeah.
But the equity in it is $150,000.
Mm.
And you go in and do some renovation. So you don't always just have to look.
Now you're talking
for
about a
homes
house flip, and that's
on the market.
That's 300.
I'm talking about people that
She's
want to
talking about
reside in a
they want to
home.
buy a home.
Yeah.
But see, you're talking about doing things from a credit side.
Right.
But this the opposite side of that, which it covers what we're talking about next, which is DTI, debt to income.
Debt to income.
I don't care how much good credit you have. You can have a 750.
Yeah.
But if your debt to income is so high that 750 don't mean anything because your debt to income is so high.
Right.
And that's a cash flow issue.
Yeah.
Right.
Because the credit score is made up of how many parts?
Well, 5 total. But
Yeah.
like you said, the 2 major components or 2 major parts of the largest part is payment history and the payment balances. That simply means how much debt
How much
you
debt you
owe.
in.
Right.
Based on how much money you get.
Yeah.
Well, no, how much debt you owe? You're right. How much debt you owe? I can see that.
Right, and it's not based off of how much money you have. Like, it's based off of how much of a credit limit you have.
Oh.
Meaning that if I have a $10,000 credit card, how much of that card is maxed out?
Yeah.
That's how that balance.
I see.
ratio.
Okay.
But this is the thing, though. In order to pay that balance down, you gotta have cash flow.
Cash flow. I mean, because I look at it this way.
No.
I look at it this way. Wait, listen.
No.
Okay, wait.
You do need it.
You do.
But there's other strategies.
I can't-
All right, I know you're finna go.
Because I
with this,
can't.
Go ahead.
No,
I mean,
you
sure
got
enough, I can pay my Capital One auto loan off with a Capital One credit card. But how am I going to pay this credit card off if my cash flow isn't together?
It's a way to raise your credit score.
Hey, let's talk about it.
And let's tell you right or wrong. If I've been paying my bill on time and I have minimal cash flow,
Yeah.
and I want to increase my credit score with based on my DTI, my debt to income, or my debt to my ratio,
Yeah.
whatever. All I gotta do is call and ask them for a credit increase, a credit line increase.
You can do that, yeah. You can ask them to
And
increase your
that
credit
lowers
line.
your debt to income.
Or
Or the
I'm
debt
give
usage, credit usage.
your listeners some good stuff, so they can be like, you all need to have the queen of credit back on this podcast.
And we will.
And we will.
And we will.
You invited back.
Okay. You can also, like, This is another thing that'll raise a low credit score that we didn't have.
Hold on, we giving you sneak.
We giving you extras. We giving you extras.
Extras.
And these are for people that probably don't have a major credit card like a Visa, MasterCard, Amex, Discover, right? Mm-hmm. Let's say you don't have one of those majors. You can go to, let's say, for example, My Jewelers Club.
MyJewelersClub.com. MyJewelersClub.com,
right.
y'all.
It reports to all 3 bureaus because we have 3 different credit scores. We know that. www.myjewelersclub.com. That's a $5,000 credit limit. And you have to make a purchase on there, I think maybe $100, but
that's what
you probably
does
want
that require
to keep
cash
this.
flow? Does that require cash flow?
It requires cash.
Listen, people.
It requires money, yes.
You cannot get $5,000 on credit and spend $5,000 on credit.
Right.
If you can't pay the back like the $100
to get it.
And this is my thing. Like that's why I harp on mindset so toughly, because 9 times out of 10, you tell somebody, "Hey, I'm about to give you $5,000 in credit." What they gonna go do?
Ball.
We about to ball out. Go to the mall. I'm buying J's, all the Ralph new stuff. It's the mindset.
Right.
But
the same thing they gonna do with this cash money when they get their income tax return in a couple of weeks.
I see.
I
see how you did that.
Right.
I see how you did that.
But to add to, and Josh,
no.
To add to it, if people invested in good credit, and continue to invest in good cash flow, they can win-win. They can have good credit and good cash flow.
Now understand, we're not saying that you need cash flow over credit. We're not saying that you need credit over cash flow. These are 2 tandem ideas that you need to be successful in capitalism. But what we're saying is, well, just what I said. They're tandem, so they're tied together. You can't capitalize on having good credit without cash flow, and you can't. It's harder to do. Or it's harder to maintain cash flow with bad credit, because then you come into high interest rates and you come into different situations like that where you're spending more money than what you actually needed or wanted in the first place, i.e. loans or anything like that. So I only said that to tell the listeners that it's not I'm right, you wrong, or anything like that.
It's all love.
It's all love. Like you need both of these things.
For the moment.
Now see
how
we do? I'm just big on cash flow.
See how we do? I'm trying to be Martin Luther King, nonviolence.
You got Malcolm X over
here. Here come Malcolm X out here by any means necessary.
This Malcolm X, I'm Harry Tubman.
Wow. So we're trying to get you to the Underground Railroad to financial success.
Yeah, but in 2018.
But we got different routes to get there. That's all we saying.
It's the roads are very similar.
Yep. Like you're gonna cross paths.
You will, because you're in capitalism.
You have to.
The system that was built and that's going to be in America for a very long time. It's only 2 ways to really maximize capitalism.
Right.
Number 1, you leave.
Yeah.
And I don't see nobody leaving.
Right.
I see people trying to get in America. I don't see no boats.
I don't see nobody
going
trying
away.
to leave.
I don't see nobody saying, "Man, I'm leaving."
That's
today.
crazy. We're gonna talk about that later.
Or number 2, you can learn how this stuff works.
Yeah.
Get educated.
Yeah.
Learn how it works, and then apply it, and then maximize. Become a capitalist. And also you have to find that balance. When I do my program with the prisoners, that my students at the prison, I tell them. One guy said, "So are you telling us to be a capitalist?" Yeah.
Yes.
But I'm also telling you to be a good human being while being a capitalist. Like don't lose that human essence where you do things to create a win-win situation in everything you do. Right. If I win, you don't have to lose.
Yeah, and speaking to that point, I think in capitalism, it's really easy to get consumed with numbers. You start to disconnect from the human factor.
You do.
People just become dollar signs. They just become numbers for you.
Absolutely.
And that's really dangerous, man.
It is.
Really dangerous.
It is. I think today we gonna finish a little bit early because we have a busy weekend.
We do, man.
We probably gonna do like 4 or 5 podcasts this weekend.
We're gonna push out.
We got a lot of value. We got some heat. We got some heat. Yeah. And then we got Latanya, of course. So we're gonna do a recap real quick on what we talked about today. Number 1, Latanya, you said the first thing people can do is what?
Go to optoutprescreen.com. Stop the bureaus from selling or monetizing your credit report and get you a couple of 2 to 5 points extra bonus.